Why am I all the way over here? What is up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast, episode number 135. I didn't know where I was sitting before the podcast started. That's why Brody is chuckling in the background. I'm like, why am I over here? What's up, guys? Anyways, I'm Jeff James. With me, as always, the incredible and unobtainable, luscious Brody Fault. Sorry, my friend. Long pause that time.
That was a long pause.
Yeah.
That long, awkward pause. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am doing swell. I'm doing well. I mean, I guess I'll just say it. Just for a quick 10-second blurt here. Hope everything's okay with the Iran stuff. That's about it.
Yeah. By the time this goes live, we might know a little bit more, but it kind of sounds like shit's about to get really real.
Yeah, and I mainly hope that everything's okay because I know we have people that listen to us in the military and all over the place, and I don't even know if there's people in there that listen to us. Who fucking knows? I have no idea, but just really hope everybody's okay.
Yeah,
I really don't want to see some bad stuff go down. But anyways, yeah. So we're back to regular scheduled programming. God, after what seemed like a eternity over holiday break. I enjoyed holiday break, but we do this, twice a week, and it's like I feel like I'm forgetting something always when we don't do it, and it scares the ever-living hell out of me.
Yeah, every time we take a little break, which is not very often, but when we do, it is bizarre. It feels weird. I feel like I'm missing a part of me because it's just become such a normal part of our lives. Twice a week, preparing the day before and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's bizarre. It is nice to be back though. I guess this is what, our second episode since we're back to regular.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I guess more what I meant from like scheduled or regular programming would be that there's news now.
Yeah, we actually have news. I actually had to cut some news. Like, I'd be a little choosy. That way this episode didn't end up being forever long. So.
Good God. Yeah, it was pretty dead for a while there, dude. It was it wasn't looking great. I mean, we were slim pickings, but we made it work. We friggin' delivered our shit, dude. We got it done. We got it done. Anyways, guys, if you want to get more info on the show when we go live or news, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Diggity, Diggity, or search for Diggity Gaming, and you'll find the little green joystick icon. You can also tell your friends about us as we are available on places like iTunes Podcast. Nope, it's Apple Podcast. Fuck that up. Google Podcast. Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, all the great podcast platforms where all great podcasts are held, and we are one of those great podcasts.
It's only episode 135. We'll get it.
No, one day, dude. They change their names all the time. Change their names, change their apps. We're also on Anchor, so
we are.
Notice from the sponsor at the start of the show. So, with that, do you want to quickly go over what we played?
Yeah, I have played probably about a half an hour more of Outer Worlds. Sorry, every time
I always mess it up too.
Outer Worlds. The only reason I didn't play more is we were in a party and I couldn't hear a damn thing that was going on in the game. So I was like, I can't stop. I gotta stop. I can't do this right now. We played a few games of League of Legends yesterday, a couple matches.
Yeah, we did.
I have played a hefty chunk of Pokemon Sword, not doing anything worthwhile, just trying to get all of the Pokemon. I don't know why I am invested into this game like I am, but I am. I'm breeding, I'm trading, I'm trying to catch them all. It's actually been really kind of fun trading with like people from different regions and stuff. Like I have some Pokemon from Korea now, some Japanese Pokemon, like just some interesting stuff. It's kind of neat. But yeah, other than that, that's about all I've been doing. How about you?
Dude, I played a plethora of things.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm cracking the big words out today, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Plethора's a big one for me. Any more letters and I'm out. No, I played everything from. Gosh, I played NHL, which I've been on a little kick for that for a little bit here. I played some Madden. I played some Overwatch. I played some League. I played some Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, baby.
Ooh.
Got back into that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
On PC or the iPad?
PC.
Ah.
PC. I don't
like it on the iPad?
Well, I haven't got it for iPad yet because I'm just
scared
that it's not going to be good. I mean, you can use a mouse on iPad, I guess, but
yeah, that's true.
Whatever.
Mm.
I mean, tiny little screen and stuff. Because what I do is I like to do like full on like detailed stuff. Like I do like a full build and I put like nice landscaping and everything around like my stuff and tunnels and cool shit. Or I try to like recreate another dude. I made this this absolutely killer like desert like Western themed town in the Six Flags Belgium scenario. Got my park making money now. Happiness is up. Put like 5 rides in. It's all good. It's all good. West side of the park is just absolutely tearing it up. East side dead as could be. So I got to get going on that side.
You need to put some fences up so they have to walk through the east side to get to the west side. I got you, buddy.
And then did I already mention it about League of Legends?
Yeah, you said
yeah. So we played some League. I just played Ram.
That was the first time we've actually played League together.
Yeah.
And I am god awful.
Well, it takes time. I'm not that great either, and I've played a lot of it. So, but it takes time. You got to find your character, dude. You got to find your character.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to roll into upcoming games before I roll into the news?
Yeah, we have a huge list of 3. So January 9th, AO Tennis 2 is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Monster Hunter World Iceborne DLC is finally making its way over to PC. And Atelier Shali, Alchemist of the Dusk Sea DX is coming to PC, PS4, and Switch on the 14th.
Okay. All right.
So
I mean,
we're still we're still a little dull as far as releases for the month of January right now, but we'll get there. Maybe it's usually about February it starts picking up, and then by March and April it's just full bore.
Damn. Well, we've got some games that have been released and some games that are coming soon to Game Pass. So kind of awesome. GTA 5 on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. I mean, that is
absolutely
that's worth the friggin' $9.99 a month just right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's endless fun. It's fantastic. But January 9th, you'll see the addition of Frostpunk Console Edition, which Brody has discussed Frostpunk on here. What, last episode or the episode before? Forget.
I think it would have been the last episode.
Okay.
Maybe the episode before.
You played on PC? That's right.
Yeah, I was playing it on PC.
How do you think
I had literally just bought the damn game, and then they announced it. I bought it like a week ago, and they announced it's coming to Game Pass. But
if Brody buys the game, it's either going to be heavily discounted the next week, or be on Game Pass, or offered as just a free fucking game.
You're welcome. I offer myself up as tribute.
Yeah.
No, I think it will be okay. I think it's kind of one of those building games that would be decent on a controller. It will be a little bit goofy, but I don't know. You don't have to be very precise. It kind of snaps to things as you go around anyway. Okay. So I think it'll do okay. But
right, cool.
You need to try it. I think you'd like it.
I will try. So
it's difficult. I think it's difficult. Apparently, half the internet thinks it's really hard, and the other half thinks it's super easy. So I don't know if I'm stupid or what.
Well, that's also the internet.
Yeah.
Then on January 9th, also you get Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet. And January 16th, you'll get Tekken 7 on Game Pass, which we just got, or you can get Tekken 6 right now for free. Yeah.
Yeah. Free games with gold, I think. Yeah.
Tekken 6 or a Tekken, something like that. But yeah, you can pick it up. So yeah, January 9th and January 16th, those are your additions. Game Pass going on strong. But we have the the free game section / subscription game section has grown over the past year and a half that we've been doing this podcast by an exceptional amount.
I felt like we were leaving PC out a little bit too much.
Yeah,
so I tried to cover some of the PC stuff because we both play on PC, but we play more on either Switch or Xbox usually. But we'll show the PC gamers some love. So the free games with Twitch Prime for the month of January, you can get Dandara, Anarcute, Kingdom New Lands, A Normal Lost Phone, Splasher, Enter the Gungeon, Ape Out, Witch Eye, Gato Roboto, and Heave Ho.
Nice.
Yeah, there's some good games in there. Some
that's a lot of games.
Digital. Enter the Gungeon, Ape Out, Witch Eye, Gato Roboto, and Heave Ho are all Devolver Digital games. And I've heard really, really good things about Ape Out and obviously Enter the Gungeon. A lot of people love that. But Ape Out's supposed to be really good and it's supposed to have a really awesome soundtrack as well. Kind of like
that's also a lot of games for free.
That is a lot of games. Free games. I'm all about free games.
Last cheapish / free-ish games or sales you got to be informed about is the January Humble Choice games were listed as Middle Earth Shadow of War, Street Fighter 5, 2 Point Hospital, which is an awesome game, Graveyard Keeper, another great game, Dirt Rally 2.0, Bad North, Jotun Edition, Trailmakers Unrailed, Whispers of a Machine, Them's Fightin' Herds, Mages of Mistralia, Grip Combat Racing, and Unparallel, which is the extra game you get with that as well, and is DRM free.
Unrailed was one of our Diggity Radar games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to try that.
Yeah.
I actually still have the original Humble Bundle.
You've never tried 2 Point Hospital, right?
I have not.
You would like that.
Would
Simulation.
I? Sweet. I'll try it for sure. So we're getting a Pokemon Direct. Not a Nintendo Direct, just a Pokemon Direct. So on Thursday the 9th at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time or 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, and whatever your time zone may be, you figure it out. There will be a 20-minute Pokemon Direct. There is no official confirmation of what will be in the Direct, but it would be fair to assume at least a good portion of the Direct will be devoted to the Pokemon Home and Pokemon Sleep. And it's possible there's like 30 or 35 Pokemon that have been data mined out of Sword and Shield that are supposed to be getting added, potentially. So maybe we'll hear about some new Pokemon coming to Sword and Shield to make me stay up all night and try to breed these damn Pokemon.
Do we know if they're gonna show off any other new titles?
We don't.
Like Let's Go, like new Let's Go variant.
Yeah, that's the big hope is for a Gen 2 Let's Go. Get the Sinnoh region.
You should get that Johto region. You should get.
Oh.
Could you imagine little Ho-Oh? Little Lugia action? Little Lugia?
Yeah.
Lugia?
Oh, God. That's. Oh, no.
All right. Yeah, I hope I don't really care about Pokemon Home, Pokemon Sleep. Like I don't care about I don't care about sleep.
Well, the Pokemon Home is going to be the replacement for Pokemon Bank, so that is kind of a big deal.
Well, thanks Nintendo for not making a bank.
Well, I mean, this is the new bank. I mean, I guess the old one was broken, but
yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, but Pokemon Sleep, it's just like I don't know.
I don't understand what they're doing with that.
I saw a great tweet that kind of sums up Nintendo mobile games for me.
Yeah.
It was this man who had just he had screenshotted his screen and it said there is an update for Mario Kart Tour, and he just wrote "Don't care."
Don't care.
No, don't care. Don't care.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, you download them once, you look at them, you try to play the thing, and you go, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm cool."
I like the Fire Emblem one still. I still play it occasionally. Not much. I usually just log in and get my free daily login shit and get out.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's been some good ones.
Yeah.
But it's just Mario Kart Tour is a pretty big disappointment in my mind. I mean, obviously it's making the money, but I mean, it's a disappointment to me.
I don't need a Pokemon branded sleep tracker either. I mean, all it's going to tell me is that it's disappointed in me for getting small amounts of sleep on a regular basis. So I don't need that. I know it's disappointing. It's fine.
You don't want like a Magikarp to flop around and be like, "Oh, Brody, you got 5 hours of sleep. Why is that?" Because I have to work, Magikarp.
Yeah, I have to work and stay up and play games.
I really hope it's actually Let's Go stuff is in this. I do hope that there's some Pokemon added to Shield and Sword.
That'd be cool, yeah.
I would like to see
I'd like to see another Let's Go this year. But at the same time, a lot of fans and just people who play Pokemon in general, not necessarily huge fans, are just kind of hoping that they take a year off because they're so used to putting out either new iteration or something almost every year. Yeah. So maybe a year off, they could maybe fully bake this a little bit.
They want better. That revenue, baby.
That's right.
Come on. Money, dude. Yeah, I think I'd actually pick up that Let's Go if it was another generation. I'd be cool with that.
I would, as long as we get rid of the actual like the weird Pokemon Go mechanics. I don't want that. Just give me a remake of the older generation.
You know what that too is the I feel like obviously it's for like the fans will probably buy it no matter what, but
yeah.
I wonder if I could go from that to a Go without it feeling too dumbed down for me. You know, because we had Go, right, which was a different experience than any other Pokemon game.
Are you talking about Let's Go or Go, like the mobile?
Oh, Let's Go. I'm talking about Let's Go.
Okay.
I'm talking about Let's Go. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Let's Go. I wonder if it would feel like dumbed down to me if I went to it again. You know, if people would get it and be like, oh. Because it launched, right, when you still had like, 3DS titles. And then
and that's kind of what I'm saying. Like I just want a regular remake. I don't want another Let's Go.
No, you're getting a Let's Go.
No, I think they got enough people's feet in the door. I don't
Dude, those Pokeballs are like $5 now.
Yeah. Guess who bought one at full price? You're welcome.
Well, you knew it was going to go on sale because you bought it at full price. Used it once, got carpal tunnel twice.
That's right.
Good God. Moving on, the PS Vita. Good God. Bring back the PS Vita. Bring it back to life.
Just died.
I know. Bring it back. Come on.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, the PS5 logo was revealed at CES of all places. Along with would be possibly one of the most cringiest and boring keynote speeches I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, it wasn't supposed to be all about PlayStation. In fact, PlayStation was maybe 5 minutes of some dude speaking that I've never seen before on the PlayStation team about a melody of things, and statistics and metrics, which we'll get into those metrics in a bit, and they're incredible. But it's exactly what we expected. It is the PlayStation style logo that has been around since the PS2. And there's a 5 there now. So if you want, you could get like a couple toothpicks and you can go to your PS2 and just put one little toothpick at the top of the 2 there and another one going down on the far right and get yourself a 5. So there's a PS5 logo for you.
There it is.
They also showed off a car. That was neat. But anyways,
talked about cameras for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it was great.
Cameras for 20 minutes. Look, I will say this. I nerded out at one point because you and me, I was texting you. I'm like, hey, they're gonna talk about PlayStation at this thing, and you're like, I don't think they're gonna talk about PlayStation. And I'm like, people are saying they're going to talk about PlayStation. So we start watching this thing. We get past the PlayStation stuff, and you're like, dude, I don't know if I can hang in there much longer. We both hang in for like 5 more minutes, and then I left. I saw a really neat thing there called volumetric filming. And basically, like the CGI, it'll be a rough version of the CGI acting. So like an effect coming out of like a storm sewer using AR is what I'm assuming. But they film that. And it's live through the camera lens, so they can see as they're filming that, which is brilliant. I mean, I'm assuming that would increase production by
an
incredible amount. But anyways, they talked briefly about a few things to expect for the PS5, which are things that, I mean, generally we knew. When pretty much at this point, if Xbox announces it's going to be in the Xbox, it's most likely going to be in the PS5 as well, and vice versa. The only differences you might see is at this point is controllers, which we'll talk about that later as well.
All PlayStation fanboys will tell you, but we've got the games.
God,
the games.
Let's not go there.
Anyway,
with everything.
Tell me what's in it. Tell me, Jeff.
So you got 3D audio sound. So what you're listening to right now is not 3D for this podcast. Essentially, it's surround sound. But from what I could take from the lingo, it is spatialized recognition software that allows them to look at the environment in proportion to the environment and the output device, allowing to give some sort of surround sound through an objective-based system. Object-based, not objective-based. You're not getting goals. Object-based sound. So essentially, they basically make like this 3D, like weird bullshit web that you can't see in your speaker system, and it looks at what the hell it can use, and it goes, oh shit, this is a Black Friday TV. I can't do shit with this. And then they go to the other dude that spent like $4,000 on his TV, and they go, okay, cool. We can turn his like 8 speakers in the back into like 7 different speakers, or make it almost like not 7. You can make it like 16 speakers.
We could take his 8 speakers and turn them into 7
to 1.
We're going
to mono.
One of them.
We're going to mono, baby. No, but I mean, basically, it's just it's like Dolby Atmos, Dolby Surround. It's just, I mean, if you're an audiophile, great. I
play with a headset all the time.
There's a point where I don't even think it matters anymore. I mean, I think we're at a point where the human ear humans are fucking stupid, dude. I mean, we have terrible senses comparative to like even a fucking house cat. My cat's probably got better fucking hearing than me.
Certainly does.
Google it. Anyways, then you have haptics and adaptive triggers, which we had known that. Xbox is having that as well. So that means basically the vibration motor that's in your cell phone is now going to be inside the controller. Ultra high speed SSDs, solid state drive, hardware based ray tracing. This is important. It's hardware based tracing. Okay. It's not
software based.
It's not software based, but also this is what's interesting on the very nerdy side of things. AMD has not come out yet and even said that they're creating a processor for a device like this that would do, in fact, ray tracing. So either the processor is a standalone by itself and the PlayStation 5 hardware, aside from the processor, is doing some sort of ray tracing application, or and AMD could have said that today at CES. I have no idea. This is news as of yesterday that I know of. Or it is built into the actual processor within AMD itself. Big difference though, because ray tracing is obviously a big thing in gaming now, right? Like everyone's always talking about ray tracing. This would not, if it is not built into that AMD processor, this would not give you the ray tracing effect that you would get from a PC, which obviously it's a console, but it's not going to be to the same level of intensity and degree that it would be from a PC if it is in fact like a sidestep almost from the PS5 hardware. Then you had an Ultra HD Blu-ray, which you knew that was happening. The disc formats are most likely changing to a different format of disc under the Blu-ray spectrum, so it can hold more stuff. And also during this very short version of their presentation, they gave a few statistics, which were absolutely incredible. They have sold 106 million PlayStation 4s. Which is nothing to bat an eye at. They've sold 1.15 billion PS4 games. That's a culmination of everything online through retailers and through other partners. There's been 5 million PlayStation VR units sold, which is actually a little bit more than I thought would have sold. Honestly,
that's quite a bit up from the last time we got some numbers. I think the last time we got numbers, it was only at like 3
yeah.
million?
I saw a lot of people getting them for Christmas and picking them up at Christmas, and that's why I said I think that surprised me, because I thought that when it got to 3, I'm like, okay, it's probably going to start dying down a little bit, And And then they have 103 million monthly users on PS4s. 3 million people just don't know how to do it. And then 38.8 million PlayStation Plus subscribers, which is just astounding that you really, I mean, rough numbers, only 38% of your monthly users are subscriptions.
Yeah, that is pretty surprising.
I wonder what Xbox Live is. I mean, it could just be, the same thing on that end, but usually these companies do not release these numbers. Also, I might add,
yeah.
like
It doesn't
Xbox
happen very often.
doesn't release kind of the shit like this.
Well,
which I hope they do.
Xbox did up until like 2 years ago, I believe, or it was because we were doing the podcast when they stopped doing it. It was it was right after we started doing this podcast, so it was year and a half ago, maybe, or I guess probably a little over a year. So, wild. I mean, that's some pretty impressive statistics there. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the last time we covered the PSVR stuff, it was 2 million lower than that. So it's grown exponentially since the last time we covered it.
We'll add also to this that there was a bit of a rumor alert also involving the controller. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, we can. Go for it.
Okay, yeah. I just quickly added into because we're on the PS5. Yeah, there was we don't know if it's true or if it's real or if it's staged or whatever, so take it with a grain of salt, as always with any rumor. But basically, I guess some dude's a cleaner at what appears to be I would assume Ubisoft in the email. I mean, they did a piss poor job of really trying to hide their identity. I mean, they scratched out the man's eyes and mouth pretty much on his profile picture within the email, but you can clearly tell you could easily match it with the Facebook profile. But anyways, this dude's a cleaner. Took a photo of the PS5 dev kit. With the PS5 dev kit, there's also a controller. Not much of a difference controller. The controller is a little bit more chunky looking, and that's about it. I mean,
yeah, it definitely looked a little fatter. I noted that it kind of looked more like kind of like how the Scuff PlayStation controllers look.
Right? Yeah.
Little fatter, almost kind of matching a similar profile as the Xbox controllers, but still keeping the symmetrical sticks.
Yeah. And you can tell it's missing some fit and finish stuff. I mean, like the PlayStation logo is not even on the damn thing, and some other stuff. So obviously, I would assume if there's any screens on the controller or any sort of doodads or glossy buttons or lights and stuff like that, you're going to see that in the production controller rather than the dev controller, which is just a rudimentary thing to get you by while you're coding for it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, my preference has always been the Xbox controller. I think it fits me better than the PlayStation controller. But honestly, if the PlayStation controller was a little bit more chunky like this one is, I think that'd be good. For me, I think that would bring me closer to how I feel about the.
Still don't like the symmetrical sticks. I like the offset sticks.
Yeah, and I wonder what it's going to be like because the arms of it, I'm going to call it the arms of the controller, are a lot wider. So, I mean, it's going to push your thumbs out more.
Yeah. It seems like an interesting move, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, they're never going to get rid of symmetrical sticks.
No, absolutely not.
Branding identity.
But by making it fatter, like that's going to make it less accessible for people with small hands. And
what does it say to us that both companies are making fatter controllers?
Xbox is actually making a skinnier controller.
That's true. That's
getting a little smaller.
That's true. What does that say about PlayStation fans?
They got fat hands.
Fat hands, baby.
So a image of the back of the Xbox Series X was shown off at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, by AMD. This is a still image that was pulled from a video shown off by AMD at the beginning of their presentation. The console appeared to have an Ethernet port, 2 USB-C ports, 2 HDMI ports, a port for the power cord, and one more port that I couldn't entirely make out what it was. Turns out this isn't actually the back of the console, though, according to Microsoft. Microsoft's official response to this was the Xbox Series X imagery used during the AMD CES press conference was not sourced from Microsoft and does not accurately represent the design or features of the upcoming console. This is the kicker, though. They go, they were taken from turbosquid.com. So somebody at AMD just grabbed a rendered picture of what somebody thought the back of the Xbox Series X might look like, and decided to throw it in their presentation at CES.
I believe that port that you're looking at also is an optical audio port.
I wondered, but I was looking at it on my phone, so it was very small.
Super little flaps.
And the more I zoomed in, it was just grainier.
Hilarious. AMD's also come out and said that, yeah, it was completely fake.
Yeah, way to go.
Oh my God.
So, oops, I guess.
It's just too funny, man. I mean, it's just, oh God. Yeah, well, I mean, here's my thing too. I don't really care about the back. Like, why does everyone care about the ports on the back? It's going to be an HDMI port, an Ethernet port, a power port, and probably like 2 USB-Cs.
Yeah, I think people are just interested to see if it's going to use USB-C, especially since a lot of people already have hard drives that aren't. So now you got to look into getting an adapter. Not a big deal, but I don't know. People like that.
Optical audio jack on the back. I mean, I'm not super with it when it comes to the audio side of stuff, but when you just use the optical audio jack in the back of your TV, because I mean the HDMI is sending both audio and video.
Yeah.
I'm assuming maybe there's loss in quality, maybe.
I'm sure there's at least some, but
cat could hear, but I couldn't.
Audiophiles will tell you. They know.
Right.
We'll ask our buddy Zach.
I just can't believe it was a Turbo Squid pick. That's just too funny, dude.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
That's so funny. Back to some Sony stuff. Sony has announced their lineup for the Taipei International Game Show for 2020. This is a game show also that's becoming increasingly large year after year after year.
Yeah, this showing that that Sony has for this is actually pretty impressive.
Which makes sense because I mean, you had we're in the age now where movies are making a ton of money overseas now, especially in China, and now you're getting that game side of stuff to it as well. So the list is as follows: The Last of Us Part 2, video only. Marvel's Iron Man VR will be a playable demo and video. Neo 2 will be playable demo and video. Final Fantasy VII remake will be a playable demo and video. It's Roman numerals and a nailed it. Trials of Mana will be a playable demo and video. Marvel's Avengers, which will be interesting to see and hear what people think of that who go to this, will be a playable demo and video. Cyberpunk 2077 will be video only. Resident Evil Resistance will be a playable demo and video. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 will have a playable demo and video. Sword Art Online, Alicization, Jesus, like Horus, Jesus, not part of that title. Playable demo and video. Tales of Arise will be video only. Elden Ring will be video only. Fairy Tale will be a playable demo and video. Yeez fucking shit. 11 9 playable demo and video. Persona 5 Royal will be a playable demo and video. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim will be a playable demo and video. Then you got Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which will be a playable demo and video. Yakuza Like a Dragon, that'll be video only. NBA 2K20 will be a playable demo and video. Gungrave Gore, or Gore, will be video only. Yokai Watch 4 will be video only. That's a new one. That's a new one coming to the titles.
Plus.
Yep.
God.
Yep.
Thank God. I was getting sick of deluxe complete edition.
Watch 4 complete edition HD remaster plus DX. Way of the Samurai Garden. Katanakami. Cade Nakami be video only. And Gloomlight will be video only. And holy hell, I botched that.
Shoot. They got a pretty good showing here, honestly. And it is definitely trying to appeal to the audience it is going towards. A lot of anime type stuff going on here. Some Fairy Tale, Sword Art, One Piece, Trials of Mana is kind of in that realm, but definitely some good stuff. Some stuff I'm interested to see after the show. Granted, I doubt much of it is going to be in English. So that will make it interesting.
Oh, there'll be somebody from IGN or GameSpot out there.
Yeah.
We'll get something.
Which they'll miss half the games, so it'll be fine.
Oh, you just hunker down. Jeez.
I didn't stutter.
Oh, God.
Alienware showed off a gaming handheld concept at CES that is basically a small portable gaming PC. The handheld device called the Concept UFO is very similar to the Nintendo Switch. It uses essentially a 8-inch display display, which is a Windows 10 tablet, to attach two controllers very similar to the Joy-Cons and play Windows games. It even has an insert to connect to the controllers in order to make a regular looking controller of sorts to play in tabletop mode. Also very similar to how the Switch does it. So the UFO currently runs, a custom launcher on top of Windows 10, but it's still pretty much a simple Windows 10 device. And it actually appears to be running games through what looks like Steam. And so far, not a whole lot is known about the UFO, including specs or anything really, but the console is capable of running Rocket League, Mortal Kombat 11, and F1 as they showed off. And supposedly what people are saying that were at the show, these versions are significantly better than what the Switch versions are. They're still not, a full-blown PC version by any means, but it's more powerful than what the Switch can do, apparently. So this is pretty cool. I'm actually interested to see what they do with this. And it's actually interesting that Dell, which obviously owns Alienware, that they're showing this off, because CES typically doesn't have a whole lot of gaming stuff there. It's more just general tech. So this is interesting, and from what I've been reading, it seems like this is pretty fleshed out rather than just being much of a concept thing, and that this is probably going to be something in the future for sure. So cool stuff.
Yeah, with the gaming stuff, in regards to CES, Razer showed off a gaming PC. So did you see that or no?
I missed that one.
Oh, it's a modular gaming PC. So you basically buy. I guess one could call a PC as is now modular, to be honest with you, because it's various parts that you put together. But they use things like Intel's NUC element, which contains most of the elements of a computer desktop, which basically is, say it would be like the form factor of maybe 4 DVD cases stacked high. But it makes it insanely easy to do it. So the NUC is a swappable brain. And I just want to pull the stats here because this is insane. So it's a 45 watt Core i9 9980 HK mobile CPU. Has cooling built into it as well. I think it's just one fan, but has slots for memory and storage, a Wi-Fi 6 radio, lots of ports, and all the headers a motherboard would normally need to power a desktop PC. And it just basically slides into this cage. And it leaves, cool. And then Razer basically simply designs the enclosure, provides a power supply, graphics card, which obviously they're used to working in that realm with their laptops and such, an SSD, some other fans, and RAM. And they load an operating system, and they configure it for you. So it's pretty interesting. It's a turnkey system. Razer's targeting a starting price just over $2,000 for these things, which would include an i7, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of solid state drive or solid state storage, and an undisclosed RTX 20 series GPU. And the i9 version would have 64 gigs of RAM and an RTX 2080 Super. Good God, I hate all the GPU names. But yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I think I'm more surprised that it took this long for someone to basically start making it this modular, because a lot of the things that scare people away from PC gaming is the fact that, if you want to be complicated, probably, the most popular way to go about it is by building your own. It's kind of like a rite of passage in a way. But yeah, I think this is a great idea.
What's crazy though, dude, is that NUC unit Intel showed off like a little like I guess concept or whatever while working prototype, and it was thinner. It was is barely wider than I think the Verge said 2 GPUs side by side.
Really?
And it runs, and like we're talking i9 in it and everything. Like whole shebang. So it's pretty fascinating what they can do now. When they can fit into processors is pretty
it's
absolutely
nuts.
insane. But anyways, yeah, I mean that's the thing there. Moving on, Platinum Games has announced a partnership with Tencent. So Tencent goes around and gets another partner. President and CEO Kenichi Sato put out a formal statement on Tuesday about the partnership, saying, "We would like to announce we have received a capital investment from Tencent Holdings Limited as a basis for partnership. This partnership has no effect on the independence of our company. Okay. And we will continue operations under our current corporate structure. We hope to use this capital to strengthen our foundation as a business and expand from game development to exploring self-publishing. We also hope that this partnership can give us a wider global perspective while still creating high-quality games to stay true to our name. Thank you, as always, for your continued support. Please look forward to what we have in store." So, I mean, you know, they get
Tencent's buying everybody.
Tencent's buying up everybody. When do you? Oh my gosh! Sorry. Good God, I'm getting over a cold. When do you think like monopolization comes into question?
I would
Or
think,
if it does.
Well, I think their way of avoiding that is they don't own a major part of any company. Most of them are only like 5% at most usually. There's a few companies that they own, you know, a larger portion, but I don't know.
There's got to be something like around like influence of market rather than like, even though monopolization has that, I should have Craig that.
You should, except for it's the Chinese government. So best of luck, whoever wants to go after that.
Yeah, but I mean, like for U.S. entities, right? Like, I mean, you know, they have Epic Game Store. They've got their hand in that.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
they pretty much got their hand in almost everything at this point. It's getting pretty close.
Even though but you know what I mean? Like, even if it's like 10 or 15% or 20% here or there, I mean, there's got to be some sort of
everything, you know?
Reaching influence or some legal term. I don't know. But also, it's the U.S. So, I mean,
Craig.
I don't think, we'll have to ask Laura Craig. I don't think Congress would even know what the fuck a video game is nowadays. I mean,
It's true.
So, you know, all they care about is the big tech monopolizations, but it's like, I would kind of put video games up there with big tech, to be honest with you, at this point.
Absolutely.
Pretty big market, but completely avoided.
It's a very large market.
Completely avoided.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Cool. I mean, you know, whatever. Tencent's just, they've got more money than God. So, I mean, they're just going to keep doing their thing and snagging up stuff. I mean, my whole theory is this: they do initial investments to ultimately gain complete control in the end.
Yeah.
Test the waters. You can afford to lose your ass on a couple $1 million, no problem, if you're Tencent for, you know, a 10% stake or whatever they're going to take in this company. And it is what it is. So whatever.
Yeah. And one of the bigger things that isn't exactly included in a lot of this is Tencent gets used a lot for localization in China, because Chinese market is generally one of those things that they pretty much have to bring in somebody from China in order to localize it properly, just because how it all works. So very strict for sure.
Cool.
So we'll cover this real briefly, just because it is big news and we have covered it plenty of times in the past, but unions in video games and tech are becoming a very big thing right now. So CODE, or the Campaign to Organize Digital Employees, has been launched by Communications Workers of America, which CWA, with the goal of organizing tech and video game workers. CWA's lead organizer, Tom Smith, said, "We've been watching the amazing organization of workers across the industry, and workers themselves reached out to us while doing that amazing self-organizing and said, can we do this in partnership with the CWA? This is something that has been in the works for a while now. There have been multiple stories over the last couple of years alone that have brought up the crunch culture in gaming, as well as some of the other issues in gaming. And just, I mean, there's some certainly some crazy stuff going on. But the CWA has already filed official charges against Google for 5 employees that believe they were fired for retaliation against the company. And this was just last month. That happened in December there. So Code, which is, again, the campaign to organize digital employees, plans to organize tech workers in a very similar way as Hollywood does, while keeping the industry whole rather than splitting into smaller divisions of the larger union.
So the Screen Actors Guild or the Writers Guild of America, the WGA?
It wasn't super specific on what exactly they were talking about.
Suck.
Right. And that's kind of the way I took it too, because they're notoriously bad.
I know people that are in WGA, and like 40% of their earnings go to, I shit you not, go to their healthcare plan.
Yeah.
When they could probably be paid for by the company.
Right.
Supplemented.
Yeah, and I don't know how far that basing it off of that guild or that division
the WGA,
yeah. How much how far that goes down as far as basing it or anything. I don't know. I mean, at this point, who knows? We've talked about this a couple different times. Neither I guess I won't speak for you, but
that's a bad
idea. I don't think this, to me, this looks like the grass is always greener on the other side kind of thing. I think if this happens, there will just be complaining about about the organization, and I don't think it's a fantastic idea. Granted, I work in an industry that is usually ran completely by unions, and the place I work at does not have a union. We hire contractors that are part of unions, but we don't even mention union. It's kind of one of those things, but I don't know. I'm obviously not a part of the gaming industry like that. It's obviously different. I'm on the outside looking in and passing on what I see to other people. So I don't know, but in my mind, I think this is not a great idea.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it's a bad idea. I don't think that a union works in this kind of work.
And you've been a part of the gaming industry as well. So
correct.
I mean, and so like you actually have firsthand experience with it. I do not. I'm just looking at it and trying to compare it to my job and what I do. I mean, and I know it's drastically different, but
yeah, I mean, it's
also not sometimes. I mean,
yeah, I mean, the political hierarchy of a union is pretty similar in most cases, right? But I mean, I guess also I was in Canada and part of the video game industry, so the healthcare aspect side of things is there for me. But most people that I know, that a buddy of mine or buddies of mine that work in American video game companies do not. I mean, they have fine healthcare. Like, in fact, a lot of them say we have fantastic healthcare, which to me is usually like point number 2 right after pay is, and what is your healthcare like, followed by what's your retirement like, you know. I just don't think, I mean, perhaps I've never worked, in an auto workers or a facility where they build cars and all that. Perhaps it works there. I have no idea. I have no real grounds to honestly speak on it in that capacity. But from this capacity, from both a tech company, working for a tech company, and a video game industry side of stuff. I just don't see how you could still continue to be a fluid company in an industry that bases itself on being able to pivot quickly and on innovation and maintain a traditional union structure. I just, there's so much red tape that it just wouldn't make any sense to me. I mean, there'd just be an incredible amount of slog basically in the way of getting to do things or doing things in general, which is generally what has allowed this industry to grow at a rapid pace compared to most, because it's kind of like the wild, wild west. I mean, like I said previously, Congress doesn't really fucking understand it. So how do you make rules for something you don't understand?
Well, and I think at this point, it has become loud enough of an issue that a lot of companies are actually, coming out and saying, hey, we don't endorse crunch culture and things like that, to where it seems like there is potential that it could somewhat solve itself, at least in smaller companies. Larger companies, maybe not. But it is, I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure. I mean, we've had a few walkouts that we've seen in gaming and tech in general, and I think it's becoming such a large thing and becoming well enough known by even mainstream, not even just gaming publications, but mainstream news in general, that hey, some of these conditions are pretty fucked up. And and I get that. I think the crunch culture thing, I mean, it's pretty well fucked. There's a lot of things wrong with it.
It's almost a manipulation.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I have friends that, and I've personally worked for companies that, a couple companies that have benefits that would exceed like the normal, like, I guess, quote unquote, like American, like, 9-to-5er would have, everything from like laundry service to like, having like chefs cook for you, and you have like a meal and you have snack bars. Like you have like
Wow.
3 or 4 snack bars on like a floor of an office building that you can go to and all that kind of jazz. And they're stocked with everything, and a theater room, and like movie rental whenever you want, and like discounts all over the place. And I mean, I think people have to kind of take a look at it also and see not just the work that they're putting in on the crunch time per se, but like what is the company taking off of you in terms of responsibilities, and how's that overall affecting the way that you kind of look at work too? Because I think people want everything, but when they have everything, they don't see that they already have everything, and that everything's not really that great. Generally
the grass is
speaking,
always greener on the other side.
right? Yeah, no, yeah, and it's just like, I mean, when companies do this kind of stuff, like a Facebook or a Google, or Microsoft, in some fashions, gives employees these incredible benefits that from like the outside, someone who's never had those benefits looks at them and they're great. And don't get me wrong, those benefits are fantastic. I mean, it's great coming to work and being like, I want to pack a lunch, right? But what it ends up doing is it takes away day-to-day responsibilities in those people's lives that would be the excuse to be outside of the scenario, to be thinking about work, to the point where all you do is think about work. And it comes into what you had said, a little bit of that guilt culture, where it's okay, well, they've already, like, for example, if there was times where I would be working on a project for a company, and that company needed to ensure that that project went across multiple platforms, right? And in order to do that update, it needed to be synchronized. Well, the platforms don't synchronize. That's up to us, right? And everyone's on different time zones. So we would have to stay, typically until dinner time. Well, most people would be like, shit, I can't do that. We don't have food services. Well, they'd make the chefs make dinner for us. Yeah. So then you sit there at your desk, it's 4:30, and you get the thing on Slack saying, hey, blah, 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 it's crunch, blah, blah, blah. Or at noon you get it and you're like, oh, well, there's dinner here. Okay.
And I
what do I do? Do I
think,
go home? Do I stay? Do I leave?
I think that's the thing too, though. Like some of these situations, we don't know what the benefits are, or we don't know if they are taking care of them. We have heard rumors of, or not even necessarily rumors, but we've heard talk of, people not getting overtime pay for working overtime and things like that. And that that's not okay. But yeah, if the company is taking care of their employees in a different fashion, but still require you to work there, a lot of times when you go into a job like that, you kind of know what you're getting into. I mean, currently I'm again, not in this industry, but I have a job that requires me to kind of be on call in a way where if they need me there, I have to show up. And so I knew that when I signed up for the job. Yeah, it's not fun, but I also knew what I was getting into. Whereas
and you're also
of
hourly,
times,
right? I mean, it's like
right, and as long as they're going to pay me to be there, I'll be there.
Right.
So,
which absolutely to that point. I mean, I had a good experience in the video game industry.
Right. And not everybody does. And I understand where some
there's
of
a
that.
lot of bad stuff out there, man.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of dude, the video game industry is ruthless. Probably one of the most ruthless things in it is just small companies getting dicked over by bigger companies or by a company that's not necessarily in video games but wants like a video game adaptation of something and has money. They just won't pay you. Straight up. I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't think I'm the first person to bring this up, but maybe it's like a dark part of the game industry. But I can almost guarantee you that probably one of the biggest reasons most of these smaller studios fail or get bought up after going bankrupt and their assets get divvied up amongst a bunch of bidders is because literally people do not pay them on time. Like being paid on time as a small studio it's rare to find a partner that is going to pay you on time. They will just constantly push it out.
Which
that's
something
brutal.
like that isn't going to be solved by a union either. I mean, that won't change. I mean, there's a lot of things that again, to me, it's the grass is greener thing. Again, I know I've said it for the third time now, but you are going to gain some things, but you're also going to lose a lot of other things, and it's not going to be what this sunshine and rainbows like they think it is.
Do you think that they should be able to? I mean, I personally. Let me ask a question. I guess first, do you think they should be able to fire or terminate or let people go? Like Google, for example, right? Let those 4 people go because those people were. I don't want to use the word conspire, but I guess like planning to work up some sort of interest in a union within their peers. Do you think they should be allowed to terminate them for that? I mean, my personal thing is I think they should be able to. If it's in the I don't know, like reporting to higher ups basis on something rather than finding out secondhand, but also like to bring up the idea of a union is also allowed, in most functions. It's just, I mean, it's a really weird spot that we're in because, I mean,
see, you're asking the wrong person on that. I've lived in Indiana my entire life, which is a no fault like employment at will state. So they can fire you for, I mean, looking at them wrong. So in my mind, like I would say yes, just because, I mean, your intention is to go against what the company is doing as a whole. So I would say yes, and I say that very cautiously. And again, I'm not familiar with all of the things that happened. I but it's and I'm trying to tread so lightly.
California is an at-will employment state.
Is it?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was or not.
They can end the employment relationship at any time for any reason.
Yeah, so basically nothing's going to come of that.
Well, I mean, the problem is though, is that there are loopholes around that stuff. I mean, unionization of stuff is a very odd. Again, Lawyer Craig would be good for this. Man, there's actually probably a need to have Lawyer Craig on the show one time. But yeah, I mean, from what I understand, I mean, unionization falls under, or discussion of that internally falls under the premise to question like work situation or like environment, to the point where that's where, you know, the government would actually become involved and say, well, people are questioning your environment. What's wrong with your environment? Is it sexual harassment? Is it facilities? Is it whatever, you know? So I don't know. It's just like it's like a weird freaking gray area for something. And I don't know. I'll wrap it up on my end, but basically I stand by my point of, I just don't think it's right for that industry. I don't think I just think it would stunt its growth. Like if Google decided to take on a union and like actually like adopt the unionization of Google, and be represented or have representatives for their employees for a union, I think that Apple would just excel beyond them, and Amazon would excel beyond. I think it would just put such a delay in you as a company.
I actually just Googled if Google has successfully unionized, and they have, believe it or not.
Oh my God. For who?
Past few years, certain groups of contract workers in service and operations at Google have successfully unionized. Sorry, this comes from Vox. I should probably cite it since I'm reading directly from it. Last year, security guards across major tech companies, including Google, successfully unionized.
Oh, okay.
Many full-time employees supported their effort.
So it's not, well, I mean, Google is an employer of them, but they're probably through a third party, I would assume. For security, or maybe it's their own.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, it's not influence.
I guess the
product.
actual like the white collar workers within Google, not so much. It sounds like they're trying to unionize, but
the influencers of product are not unionized. Like, not to say that they don't run the company, the security guards, but I mean, they're protecting the company. Perhaps they're also, like I said, through a third party as well.
Yeah, but and again, if they don't actually have a union there, if they aren't unionized, the CWA is not going to really have any ground to stand on, because at that point, the state is going to override it, because now the union isn't there. So they don't have union rights, because so now, again, those 5 employees, nothing happens. If they aren't, they're just fired. And the CWA is trying to pick it up, because what they're trying to do is earn goodwill with the employees within Google and still try to push that
and
unionization.
They're trying to also make it a PR nightmare, to the point where Google would actually pay something.
Exactly. So this is more, to me, this looks more like a PR stunt than anything, because nothing's going to come of this if they aren't propaganda. Unionized. Yeah, that's all it is. And so I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, yeah, unions have a lot of upsides, but they also have a ton of downsides. And at the end of the day, unions are also a business. They're trying to make money just like everyone else. They make a good chunk of your paycheck once you join a union. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. And if unions do get into this industry, they absolutely will slow it down. There's not a doubt in my mind. It will definitely be slowed down significantly. We will be seeing games release way later from when you would expect. I mean, a lot of things will change. And I'm not saying that I would prefer people be treated like shit. And, you know, that's not at all what I'm saying, but that is just one of the downsides you will see. It will be slowed to a halt, because a lot of things that have unions in it will be slowed to a complete halt. Not even like a slowdown. They will be completely halted. Things will just stop.
Right.
And now you have, I mean, a month of half of your employees not working. And I don't know.
I imagine also,
I've seen a lot of bad things from unions around where we live. I mean, we've seen a ton of it. And
we've seen a lot of, I mean,
and generally it's, I've seen a lot of messed up stuff come from unions. And so, I'm not a fan of them. Sorry. I'm not. I don't think it's a good idea.
Damn. I also imagine the funds that would go to the union would also just be able to go for more able bodies that would be able to reduce timeline and congestion.
Yeah, it would actually be probably significantly cheaper.
Just hire more people.
Yeah, just get some more people in there. But I don't know. It sounds like it's going to happen anyway, and then we just get to hear about all the people that are now a part of the union complain about the union. So that'll be the news in a couple years. It'll just be the exact opposite.
I don't think it's going to make it. The industry is incredibly leaning towards union though, so maybe not. Who knows?
See.
Good God! All right, guys. Well, we will close it out
so
here.
Much for quickly.
Yeah,
we'll just gloss over this real quick.
It's just it always changes though, right? I mean, this whole thing with Google, and then what the demands are for the union, what union's actually representing them now. Now we actually know who's backing them. And I mean, whatever.
We'll see.
We don't think it's a good move. We could be wrong. I mean, whatever, right?
Could be wrong. I've been wrong a few times.
Yeah,
just a few though.
That's right. Just a few. Guys,
never on this podcast though.
God, cutting me off. I'm trying to close it.
Fine, finish it.
Guys, if you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/Diggity podcast. We have a patron over there. Today's podcast was also brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial by heading on over to audibletrial.com/Diggity. Get access to a ton of audiobook titles to choose from for your device. That's audibletrial.com/Diggity. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Diggity, Diggity. You can find me on Xbox One. My gamer tag is Maple Jeff.
Mine is Luscious Brody. And on PlayStation, you can find me at Wolverine's Cousin.
That's awesome. Leave us a review. It helps a ton, whether it's a comment on one of our YouTube videos or a review on our iTunes page, Apple Podcast page, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. It helps us get noticed. And more importantly, it actually lets us know what you like, what you don't like about the show, so that we can make it the best show possible for you to listen to. And until next time, guys, we will see you for the Friday show. See ya.
I can't believe the PlayStation 5 logo is the exact fucking same.